Welcome back to On the Slab on the Dynamo Podcast Network. And we hope you're all having a lovely, lovely Friday night and watching loads of horror movies. And again, I'm back with my other main man, the G-Man, Greg Flanagan. How are you, bro?
What's happening, homie?
I'm all good. This hood is good. Thank you very much. It's good to see you again. How's your week been?
Warm.
Yeah, it's been so
well,
hot.
Actually, had a bit of rain this week, which is nice.
Yeah, it was nice, but still, it was
still warm.
I think I'm able to finally get some fucking sleep in this place, you know?
Oh, it's been desperate. I've been sleeping with a towel just, and that was it.
Understandable. Thanks,
bad.
Thanks for coming on again, man. You're helping out an awful lot on the show, which we really, really appreciate.
Gotta look after the bros, you know?
Absolutely. And again, shout out to Ted and yourself on Retrotainment and Retrotainment Rewind.
Recast.
What a...
We'll get sued for that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's another great show on the Dynamo Podcast Network that I'm sure everyone's going to check out.
Yeah, check it out to see the battle with me and Carl Sherlock of the Sherlock Reel and Retrotainment Recast on the movie Hook. Check it out.
That's brilliant. Of course, there'll be links for that. So,
yeah.
So tonight, we were kind of just freestyling it tonight. We decided what would we do, because we normally have a structure in place. But we're going to talk about horror movie franchises, and you're going to read out kind of the top 20 or whatever.
I have 26 here.
Right.
We're letting lunatics run the asylum tonight.
Right. Yeah, you're in charge tonight. So I'll tell you whether I like these franchises or not, whether we think they should have been higher up the list or lower down the list or whatever.
Well, the list that I got it off is done through the money they've earned as a franchise.
Right. So they're there on merit. They're there on their, yeah.
Well, some of them will be there on merit. Some of them will be there on legend, more so.
Yeah. Right, we'll kick it off, then go on.
Right, 26. We've got Fright Night.
Now, does that
movies?
Does that encompass the new one as well?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So 3 movies. They made 46 million.
That's not bad when you think about it, actually.
Well, when the first one came out in the 80s or something with Charlie Rooster.
Yeah, I like that one. That's good.
The Colin Farrell one was atrocious.
And I wouldn't mind. I like Colin Farrell in things, you know.
Oh, it was.
But it was crap.
I've watched it once and I was like, Jesus. And I've watched some bad movies.
Yeah.
It's an enjoyable franchise. 2 is very forgettable though.
Yeah, but you see a lot of those 80s films. They couldn't recapture the magic of the first one, you know.
No. Well, it was like you remember They Live. That had the precipice to set up a second one, and I'm so glad they didn't go near it.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah,
they didn't
and
do it.
Essentially, fully perfect.
Yeah.
Fright Night 1 was like that.
Yes, I think so.
They should have just went. Thanks very much. I'll take my 30 or 40 million or whatever that one made alone, and went. It's a bang average film series, really, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I like we said. There's one film that you'd watch. You would probably watch it again, not often.
Oh yeah,
but you would watch again. The others are forgettable, like as you said.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, two. I'd rather watch 2 than watch the remake.
Yeah. Well, there's that word again. Remake. Yeah.
No, where's the T-shirt now, Carl? Fuck remakes.
Oh yeah, I gotta get that made.
We move on. 25 is actually one of my favorite ones. Hellraiser.
Right. Okay.
4 films, 48.5 million.
Wow.
I think it's due to the time and obviously losing the rights to the movies as well didn't help Clive Barker in the process of it.
That's right. He has them back now, hasn't he? The rights.
Yeah, he got them back last year, I think.
Yeah, I think it was last
after a hell of a battle. Hellraiser 1 was brilliant.
I love it. I was only watching it a few weeks ago, actually.
We were only talking about just before coming on about Doug Bradley.
Yeah.
What a man. What a concept from Clive Barker.
Yeah.
Like, how do you come up with that?
Well, I mean, it all stems, well, when you think about it, it's coming from his ideas for books, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
And
he wrote. I think he wrote the graphic novel and then done the
yeah,
film from it, didn't he?
that's but yeah,
But
he's got a really dark mind. I mean, did you ever see what was his other one? Um,
uh,
oh God,
he has a couple other ones, doesn't he?
yeah, but he's got a very dark mind.
Yeah, I don't know which one.
Nightbreed.
Oh, Nightbreed. Yeah, I've read. I think I've read some of it. I'm not a great reader. But I read some of it just to see
some fucked up stuff he has. Yeah.
But like, even to come up with that principle of like, I know the Cenobites box came from the Rubik's Cube, the fact that he couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
So he decided to make a thing of it.
Yeah.
Open the box and they will come. All right.
Get in trouble. Huh? Hey, but it's not bad. They're not the worst it's not the worst franchise, I suppose you could say. But like you said,
not at all.
The first one, top drawer yet again.
Yeah.
You know?
2 wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was okay.
The newest one, was it Inferno or whatever it's called, was just.
I didn't even look at it.
You can see when Clive Barker was involved in it and wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a strange one. We move on. 24 is Evil Dead.
I would have thought that would have been higher up, actually.
Again, it came out very early and probably when cinemas weren't as expensive to go to, so it's harder to make high end, and it didn't help that it was banned in a lot of countries straight away.
I know.
Yeah.
When you think about
it, Sam Raimi was brilliant in the way he made this. And like, everyone always goes, "Oh yeah, Ash from Evil Dead." A lot of people forget that Evil Dead 1 didn't really feature him a whole lot.
No.
In a way.
I know.
And this is one though. This is one I'll always say. I know you don't like remakes, but this is one of the remakes this was a good one.
I haven't seen the remake, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah, the remake. It's on Prime. I only watched it not so long ago. Again, it's a very, very good remake.
Is it Sam Raimi again?
No, I don't think so. Can't remember if it is or not. I don't think it is. No.
Right.
I think he had something to do with it, but it wasn't a full remake from him.
Yeah.
But obviously the remake thing, but bringing in 74.1 million, it's not bad. Now I think a lot of it came from the remake.
Probably, yeah.
But what can you do? This is one of them ones in terms of horror. It's a cult classic, really.
Yeah, and I mean it's an unusual one where they basically remake the first one in part 2. Pretty much.
What did you do? I remade it, just slightly different.
Slightly different, yeah. So that's an unusual concept. One. Yeah.
It was a strange one, but it was entertaining. And then Army of Darkness is just hilarious.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Great.
This is my boomstick.
Brilliant. Ash, I mean, people love Ash, don't they? They love him.
Yeah. Well, he became he got a TV show 20 years later, like.
Ash vs. Evil Dead.
I never actually watched it now.
Oh, it's brilliant, man. You watch it.
I have it. It's on my list there. I think it's on Netflix. It's on my list. But like the bit in Evil Dead 3, Army of Darkness, where he's got the little people running around his body. He's like, "Do you want some hot coffee?"
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Very good. Oh, what's next?
23 is Sinister.
And you know something? I only watched the first one of them about 3 weeks ago.
Spanned 2 movies, made 75, nearly 76 million.
Wow, on 2 movies.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke. It was very good. This was me and Zoe's first date. We went to see Sinister. Yeah.
And was she jumping into your arms, was she?
No, but I kept annoying her. I kept on to her leg.
Brilliant.
I enjoyed it very much. Very good concept for a franchise, for a film, really.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first one. As I say, I haven't seen the second one yet.
Second one's alright. It's kind of the same as the first one in terms of story, but it does its job. 22, Psycho.
Right, okay. Again, For me, the fourth one is the only one I'd have any interest in.
Yeah, now this one doesn't count American Psycho in it either, though.
No, but the
Uh,
remake was in there. Is in there as well. I'm sure with Vince Vaughn. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
the less spoke about that, the better.
Yeah.
Jesus, good old Vince threw himself into everything at that stage, didn't he?
God, he's some boyo, and now he's just typecast.
He's grand. He's grand. He is.
Much did that make?
Psycho made 102 million over 4 films.
Jesus, that's actually, when you think about it, that's good.
It is, yeah, considering what one came out in the early 70s.
Yeah.
Was it 60s,
It was
70s?
late 60s or something. It was.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Jesus.
Probably about 5 cents into the cinema.
Yeah, yeah. A book or whatever.
Yeah. Five is one that, or sorry, 21 is one that a lot of people love. Me, not so much. It's Child's Play.
I'm like you. I'm not a fan of Child's Play.
No, I don't get it. I generally
No.
don't get the love. I've watched them all. I've not watched the remake, and I don't plan to watch the remake. It made 5 films. That's including the remake. Made 126 million. Which is good going.
Yeah.
And now it's got a new TV show coming out.
Oh, I don't find. I don't. Again, I'm just not into that. I've never into Chucky and all this kind of stuff. You know.
If it was out somewhere and it was on, or it was in someone's house, it was on, I'll sit and watch it. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go and put it on.
No, we'd be the same. So,
20. We move on quickly there. The Omen is 20. 4 films, 162 million. That includes the remake.
Probably most of that was the money was on the remake. Probably.
Yeah. Well, again, another movie that was critically acclaimed and probably not let into a lot of cinemas in a lot of countries.
Do you ever find actually a lot of older people will say, like my mother used to be terrified of, and I'm sure this is going to be up the list. My mother was terrified of The Exorcist.
Yeah, my parents were the same.
Yeah, and they wouldn't watch it. She wouldn't watch it with me, and she's like, "I'm not watching that. You're not to watch that." So I had to watch that when she got to bed or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll get to a movie later on where I'll explain my similar scenario to that one.
Yeah.
The Omen was good.
Yeah, fourth one again, brilliant.
2 wasn't bad. The remake was again atrocious.
There's that
big
word.
It was a big budget shite return.
That's Hollywood for you all over.
Ran out of ideas now.
Yeah. What we got next?
19 is the Amityville series. So you've got the 3 originals and then the Ryan Reynolds remake.
I was never a fan of the Amityville, although I probably didn't give it as much of a chance as I should have. The original one, you know,
170 million
for three films.
For 4.
4, wow.
So you've got the 3 original and then the Ryan Reynolds Michael Bay one. The first one was good. Second one was just ridiculous. The third one was just the third one. Like the Ryan Reynolds one gets a lot of hate. I think if you put that as a standalone horror movie, it's all right.
Yeah.
But trying to follow off an actual, supposedly a true story, was just crazy.
Is that the film where they had the real skeletons in the water with your woman?
No, it was Poltergeist.
Poltergeist, sorry.
Yeah.
I always get those two.
Which is actually the next movie on the list.
Fuck off, no way.
Yeah. Number 18, Poltergeist. 4 films, 179 million.
Wow. You're seeing the heavy hitters now, the real, like some of the old school ones are really heavy hitters now.
Yeah. It's a Poltergeist, this is 4 films, the 3 original ones, and of course the 2015 remake, which I seen about 12 minutes of.
That's enough for you.
Yeah. Once I seen the first issue of The Ghost come out, I was like, nah, I'm done. I'm done here.
I don't even have to see it.
No. We move swiftly on, and that, as you said, the best thing about that was freaking you one out by putting the real skeletons in.
Yeah.
I'd say they got in so much trouble for that.
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
It's great though when you look at it back and you're like, they're real. That's deadly.
Yeah. Yeah, you see it in a couple of films. Like you see it now, they've done it in The Descent, same kind of way they've done it. Now, obviously, they weren't real skeletons because you're gonna get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
They do that kind of scene where she's in the water and it's there's bodies floating. And you're like,
Yeah.
seen this before. This came from a classic. 17 is Insidious. 3 movies, 189.8 million.
And I can understand that because I really enjoyed the first one.
Oh yeah, the first one was absolutely brilliant, and the song, Tiptoe to the Window.
Yeah, good little. What's his name? Tiny Tim. Tiptoe.
Yeah,
to the tulips.
Was it the tulips? Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the red-faced demon. Patrick Wilson was brilliant.
I have to say, man, that when you see that red-faced demon behind your woman, just
it's behind him.
That's it. Him. Yeah,
she's talking. Yeah, she's talking. He's just standing behind her. Jesus.
That was a good scare. That was a fucking good scare.
One of my favorite scares was a real subtle one in that was when they walk into the bedroom and the young fella's asleep and the demon standing in the corner just pointing at him.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one. What do you want? It just points at him.
Yeah.
That had an air of Nightmare on Elm Street about it.
It did actually, yeah.
Because it looks like he had the claws and it's just pointing at him, and you're like, yeah.
That was a good. It was again. I haven't seen the other two yet, but I plan on looking at them.
It says here 3, but there's actually 4. I don't know whether they're counting the last key in this one, which is the latest one.
Right. Okay.
I imagine they should be because it's been out for a couple of years, but maybe I took it down wrong and it was supposed to be 4, but there is 4 of them.
Right. Okay.
Thinking about it there. We move on to number 16. This is one of yours.
Oh.
It's set in a very old hot place of Texas.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, runs in at number 16. 8 films. Soon to be 9.
Yeah, I know.
Runs off a total of 199.3 million. So just shy of 200 million.
And again, I would say the remakes and the reboots got most of that, I would say. But...
Well, the Michael Bay one definitely did. That's the highest grossing one of the
franchise.
The series. Yeah. But then again, Tobe Hooper's one came out. Cinema probably wasn't as dear. There was a lot of publicity about the 2003 one. Like I was only 12 when it came out, and I remember it wanting to go and see it. Now this is where we were saying earlier, we'll get into a discussion.
Go on.
This is what your favorite horror movie?
Yeah, this and American Werewolf in London are kind of right up there, but
one's 2 different subgenres really of horror, isn't it?
I absolutely adore this film. I adore this film.
The first one, the Tobe Hooper one, is almost perfect in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right up until they bring the granddad down.
Yeah, you don't like that.
that ruins the whole film for me.
Yeah.
And like if that wasn't there, that film was perfect. That film would be nearly as perfect as Jaws.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Now I hate that part of that movie so much that I think I prefer the 2003 remake to that one.
No, don't say that.
But the grisly, grim nature of that first one is just phenomenal.
What's the word we always use?
Atmosphere. I'd say it was hot and sweaty as fuck making that movie.
I believe they all wanted to kill. They were very close to wanting to kill each other on set at that stage.
I'd say so. Yeah, tensions got high, but like the scene where he hits your man with the lump hammer and he's just twitching on the ground.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Jesus.
But the whole lack of blood in the film.
There was very little.
Yeah, and yet it was banned for years,
Yeah, well, it's because they turned around and said it was a true story.
Inspired by true stories.
Yeah, the Blair Witch got that as well in some countries because of
That's
it.
Right.
That's remember, right. Like the biggest one was you remember Cannibal Holocaust?
Yes.
Your man had to give a deposition and try and get the actors out to be like, this was a movie.
He had them
because
all.
it was that well done.
They had them. They were under contract to be in hiding for something
A year.
like after the film, and then he had to get them out. He was gonna get done for murder, or whatever it was.
Inciting a murder or something. Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, some of the not even the remakes. Some of the newer ones of this were pretty good. Like
the Leatherface was okay.
That's the one with Stephen Dorff.
Yeah,
where he plays the cop.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's actually not bad.
He made a grisly end in that one. Jeez. I didn't mind the Alexandra Daddario one.
Was that Texas Chainsaw 3D?
Yeah.
I liked the concept of it. I just wasn't mad about how it turned out.
Film wise, it was just meh. But the story, I did like the story to it.
Yeah.
And she was in it, which helped a lot. But sure, look, it's still like it's a toss up between the original and the 2003 one for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'd still say 2003, surely because of the ending scene. But if the granddad wasn't there for the original one, it'd be right up there as one of my favorites. That's how much it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true. It was the 70s, man. What they do?
Yeah, but like Tobe Hooper was a genius. And Gunnar Hansen was unbelievable.
Poor old Gunnar.
Like, could you imagine the heat inside that mask?
Yeah, and I mean he took inspiration from that as well.
It's just deadly. 15 is one that we mentioned on our vampire episode. Blade.
Oh, Blade, yeah, that's
3 films, but we'll only give it 2 because 3 was 3 was 3.
There's Ryan Reynolds on another crap film.
There's Ryan Reynolds, Jessica Biel, Triple H. Made 204 million off 3 films.
Wow, that's good going.
Well, like 3 didn't make any money as far as I know.
I'm not surprised.
I think like 1 obviously made the money. I think 2 was the bigger of the box offices though.
Yeah, well the first 2 are brilliant. Like I love the concept of the second one with the kind of a hybrid.
The split.
Yeah, that's cool. And even when you look at it now, it hasn't aged badly.
No, it's not too bad.
I think we were talking about the first one in the vampire episode, and we were saying it aged, some of the CG aged badly. But the special effects on the second one actually hold up really well, I think anyway.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Like the whole series is kind of enjoyable, like as a film series for what it is.
Exactly.
Like Wesley Snipes as Blade. He'll always be forever known as Blade, really.
Yeah. No one else will ever. It's like Michael Keaton. He is Batman, as far as I'm concerned.
100% correct.
Thank you.
We'll move on. 14 is one of Ted's favorites. Is The Purge.
Right. Okay. How many of these are there?
Well, according to IMDb, there was 3. I think there's about 8.
Isn't there? Yeah.
I don't know. When I took it off the list, it said 3 films. So, I know there's a newer one out.
And there's also a TV series, isn't there?
Yeah, Ted swears by that TV series. He said it's very, very good.
Ted's just high all the time.
He's the least one of us to be anything of that nature. So at the minute, I'm gonna say it's unknown as to how many there actually is.
Right.
Because I don't believe that 3 is correct. No, there's 5
minimum.
Yeah, and a TV show.
Yeah.
So 250 million isn't overly as great when you look at that.
No.
But 1 was such a low budget movie that it was made for, and then it went off and obviously made 200 sequels.
Yeah. But that's the kind of concept you could do sequels with, though.
Yeah. It's just a different Purge every year or whatever.
Different people, different stories on the night and all.
Yeah. Ted. It was Ted that got me to watch this one. I thought it was First time I watched it, I thought it was terrible.
Really?
I was like, what the fuck is this thing? And then I watched it again, and I really kind of enjoyed it. Then I was like, oh yeah, the story actually makes sense. So I said I'd go and watch the next ones, but never did. Sorry,
Yeah.
pal.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, it was all right. Lena Headey and a couple others, but no one really major at the time. Like,
No. I think I've seen one of them. I think. I can't remember which one. I think it might be the one with Lena Headey in it.
that's the first one. That's the one where
Yeah.
they're in the house and they're coming trying to get in.
Yes, I've seen that one. I haven't seen any
And
others.
they let the war vet in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was enjoyable after
Enjoy it,
when I sat down to watch it without being like, I have no idea what's going on here.
You gave it a chance.
Yeah. So 13 is another vampire werewolf thing. We're gonna go with Underworld. With Kate Beckinsale and Scott Speedman.
Now hold on, you're saying Scott Speedman for it?
I'll leave that to your imagination.
You dirty face.
Yeah, no. These movies, I didn't really. It was just there. Like anytime I tend to watch them, I tend to fall asleep. I find them kind of boring. I don't know why. I think it should be something that I like.
Yeah.
But I just never really bought into these.
I saw the first one in the cinema, and
did you?
I found the first one okay. You know, I enjoyed it. It wasn't shit. I enjoyed it, but I got bored with the other ones. You know,
they deteriorate very quickly, especially when your man starts flying and picking off kids and everything. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? He's flying after them and in the truck. I was like, what? But they are what they are. Made 222 million.
Nice return.
Yeah, not bad. Now we move into a zombie movie. I think it's the first zombie movie of the. Oh no, Evil Dead's a zombie movie. Made 5 films. 244 million. Can you guess what it is?
Is it the Dead franchise? Is it? Like
Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Or sorry, no, it's not that. Not Dawn of the Dead. No, they don't count as a franchise apparently.
Do they not? Okay.
No, because there's. I don't know why. I thought they would have.
Let me guess. Hold on. Oh, I can't think.
We're building the atmosphere here.
We're slumbering slowly along.
Just for the record as well, this is a live view of Carl here in this list for the very first time.
Yeah.
So he has no chance to work off anything but knowledge here.
Right. So there's how many films?
5.
Oh, jeez, I can't think. What is it?
Resident Evil.
Oh, I wouldn't have never got that. You know,
I said a zombie movie.
I know, but I still would never have got that because
I would have if I had told you Mila Jovovich was in it.
Yes, I would have got that, but
yeah,
I don't think I've even seen one of them because I've no interest in them.
Oh, did I?
No. I bet you've seen them all, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
1 and 2 are good. The rest of them are just.
And is she in all of them?
She's in 1, 2, and 4, I think. She missed out on one of them. 1 or 2 of them. They're just.
Are they just kind of...
Netflix are making a TV show, rebooting it from the start, which is drawing a lot of attention now at the minute. So I'll be looking forward to that when it comes out.
Yeah.
Because Netflix were striking on everything at the minute.
Except Masters of the Universe.
I have not watched it yet, and I don't plan on.
Anyway,
the Kevin Smith one, is it?
Yes. Wrong. This is the wrong show to talk about that. I know. But...
we'll move on to number 11. This one here was one of the best concepts I'd seen when I was growing up.
Let me guess.
I enjoyed them.
Let me guess. Saw.
No.
Let me guess.
I'll give you the films. No, that didn't make the list actually.
Did it not?
No. 5 films.
Right.
263 million.
Okay.
And it had Ali Larder and Sean William Scott in the first one.
What's it called? What is it?
Final Destination.
Fucking, I think I've seen about 3 of them.
The premise for this movie was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I love it.
They're great. It's a great series.
Yeah.
Because all of them are different, but it all has a strong story to it.
Yeah.
Some of the deaths are a bit ridiculous, but
okay. What was the one in? Was it the one where the big huge tree goes through the
second
car?
one?
That's cool. That's cool.
when you're stuck in traffic and you see one of those, everyone pulls into that other lane.
Understandable. Good series.
Good series. Some of the deaths were ridiculous, but like your man getting disemboweled by the plunge or the plug hole for the swimming pool. Genius. But some of them were funny, but it was a good series overall.
Yeah, not the worst.
Very enjoyable. But yeah, 263 million over 5 films.
It's not bad.
Good return.
Yeah.
50 million a pop.
Not bad.
Right, we'll move into the top 10.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Oh.
So, 10 is one that's actually been covered on the show.
Go on.
Spanning 10 films, making a cool 308 million. Soon to be 11 films.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
No. We haven't covered Nightmare on Elm Street in the show.
I
wasn't on it.
That's right. What? Hold on now. Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
10 films. Now, if you go by the current story, 2 films.
Oh yeah, of course. It's retconned, isn't it?
Yeah, 308 million. John Carpenter's genius creation.
Yeah.
Arguably his best creation.
Yeah, I would say so. Absolutely.
And arguably a creation that saved slasher movies.
Yes. I would agree with you on that.
Well, at least for a while anyway, it saved slasher movies and gave us the likes of Jason and a couple others.
Yeah.
Me personally, I say Freddy Krueger saved slashers because he was different. But at the time, bringing out Halloween and the way it was filmed, the way it was done, the music just changed the game.
I think they all, like the heavy hitters of the slasher genres, they've all got their qualities in terms of bringing something to the table, I think.
Yeah, I think it was more the creativeness from Freddy that I seen.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Michael and Jason, it's slow, it's methodical, it's I'll walk you down.
I like all that. I love that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, but that's grand.
Yeah.
But you see it, you can only go to the well so many times.
That's true. That's true.
In terms of movies, like you see it in every slasher movie now. Big guy walking you down.
Yeah.
The kind of way. That's what I liked. Fear Street. They were quick. They were
good, actually. Yeah. Good killers.
But I think Halloween was great. First one was brilliant. Second one was it was all right. 3 was a standalone movie.
I love that. I love it.
It was like, in terms of this series, it's ridiculous and unnecessary.
Yeah.
But as a standalone movie, it's very good. And that song is stuck in your head forever.
We're not singing it.
Not happening.
We did that last. If they had just called it Season of the Witch, maybe.
Yeah.
And not tagged it to the Halloween franchise.
But there's a few that have done that now. A few series that have done that. They brought out movies that have had nothing to do with anything and just thrown their name to it.
Yeah.
And of course, then you're gonna pick up money from it.
That's what they're all in it for. At the end of the day.
So now we'll try and move on. 9 was one that I actually suggested to you to watch not so long ago, and you're late to the party for it. 3 films. They don't count the spin-offs in this franchise.
Right.
Made 324 million off 3 films, and one of them is only out about 2 months.
Oh fuck.
Again, we go back to Patrick Wilson.
He loves these things, doesn't he?
He became a horror man now, yeah. The Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Yeah, and funny enough, I only watched the first one again. The first one. a few weeks
Yeah.
ago. I remember I was saying to you I wanted to start watching a few more modern horrors, give them a
Yeah,
chance.
because I told you to watch it.
Yeah, that was a very enjoyable film.
Those movies there brought my love for horror back a little bit. I kind of drifted away and was like, everything's shite these days. Because I'd seen about 200 of the Paranormal Activities. I'd seen everything, and everything kind of seemed to be a possession movie, possession.
Yeah.
And then I listened to Talk Is Jericho where he interviews Andrea Perron, who is the little girl from The Conjuring.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch these and see. So I went and gave it a chance after listening to the podcast, and I was like, yeah, love it. And then the second one came out, and I've been outside the house where the second one took place in Enfield in London. Because it's not too far from my nanny's.
Wow.
So I said I'll go down and have a look. Now you can't go into it; people live there, but yeah, I've been outside it, which was weird.
That's cool.
Yeah. 3 was left alone by James Wan, and it kind of took a different toll, but it was an alright movie. But again, it's one of those movies that have put their name, the Conjuring name on it, and it's piggybacking off it. Yeah. Well, none of them have anything to do with each other, really.
No.
He threw Annabelle in just to make something else of it.
Yeah, and then the Nun is about part of that franchise, is it?
Oh, jeez, yeah. Valak.
I like the character. The character looks great, though.
The Nun.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
Bonnie Aarons is a creepy looking lady.
Isn't she in one of the? She's in the first or the second one.
She is the demon from the first one.
Yeah, I know that.
Oh no, sorry. She's the demon from the second one.
Yeah. I thought she made an appearance in the first one, not as the Nun. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know.
Unless she played Bathsheba, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think she did.
Yeah,
that's just me. I think I might be getting it mixed up with number 2. Sorry.
The Conjuring one that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
There we go back to atmosphere being built.
Yeah.
Throughout that movie, and some of the camera work to build it, like the bit where she's standing outside and the sheet blows off beside her and it's stuck there as if it's holding someone.
Yeah.
And then blows away and she's standing up in the window. And you're like, there was jump scares in it that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
Like the bit where she's looking down where she can hear the kid clapping.
Yeah.
And she thinks they're playing Marco Polo. She's looking down the stairs and you expect something to come up, and the hands come from behind her, and you're like, you sneaky son of a bitch. That's the mark of a good horror film. Yeah, it's what you don't expect.
Yeah.
And like where she's banging her head off the wardrobe.
Oh yeah.
And you expect it to come out of the wardrobe, and next thing you know, they look up and it's on top of it, and you're like, oh shit.
Good films.
Yeah. 3 was okay. 2 was enjoyable as well. Very gritty. 2 was. It was good though. You should check it out. I think 2 was on Netflix as well.
Yeah, I think it is. What we got next?
The ultimate horror of horrors for the older generation. The Exorcist.
Yes, we were only saying that.
Yeah. Spans 6 films, soon to be 7. 331.6 million.
Now, here's the thing: is like, see those numbers? Is that box office or is that sales of, No,
that's box office.
Right. Okay. So then it would have been probably the later.
Probably would have only been off 2 movies or 3 movies, I'd say. Because I don't think they all got a theatrical release. Well, I don't know how they mask box office if it doesn't come out in the cinema. Did they do it off day 1 sales or something?
Maybe, yeah.
Well, this just gone by the numbers that IMDb gave me.
Yeah. First one, classic, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just, that's all that needs to be said.
Yeah.
The less said about the rest of them, the better.
Yeah. Although I will say, I watched the TV series.
That's the one that came out on Prime, was it?
Yeah. I was actually pleasantly surprised with that. It was good.
Again, it's on my list to watch. I just there's too much stuff at the minute. It doesn't help that I go back and rewatch rewatch The Office and Scrubs and things, and I'm like, Greg, you've seen these about 200 times.
You have to know. They're good.
Yeah. Yeah. What you know, Reagan is arguably one of the most influential characters you'll see in a horror film.
Yeah. Well, one of the most memorable ones as well.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Influential,
absolutely.
probably not, but yeah, memorable, definitely.
Memorable, yes.
Yeah. And Paparazzi or
Pazuzu.
Pazuzu, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it's just like that's one of them quiz questions that people you've asked in the quiz, not many people get.
Yeah.
What was the demon called in
The Exorcist?
In The Exorcist. Well, actually, I meant to say to you, I'll give you a funny one. Do you know The Conjuring 1?
Yes.
Sorry, no, I haven't seen The Conjuring 2. It's actually in The Conjuring 2. Never mind.
All right.
I'll
tell you when I've seen it.
Yeah. It's very good though. 7 is 4 films. Is about to be 5. So this will move probably further up the list come the end of the year.
Okay.
331.7 million. Just slightly above The Exorcist, but with 2 less movies.
Okay. Is it Predator? No.
No, that didn't make it.
Oh right, they probably.
I don't think they count. I think they only count the first one as a horror.
Right.
What
is it?
Scream.
Oh, that's right. I like Scream.
I was very late to this. As I said to you before, I had thought I'd seen these, and when I watched them in the start of lockdown, the first lockdown, and I was talking to Ian and Ted about it, and they were like, "You've definitely seen them," and I was like, "I definitely have watched it. No idea, not a clue."
Yeah, it's very good.
I was like, I watched all 4 of them in the space of 2 days. Then I was like, yeah, I knew I'd seen 4.
Yeah.
I'd definitely seen 4 because I was working Next Vision when it came out. I knew what happened in that one, but the other 3 I hadn't a clue. Like you could nearly pick some of it going through. Some of the twists in it were brilliant though, as to who it was or the way they done it. Wes Craven was brilliant.
Yeah.
But like what I liked, even in Scream 1, like he had the throwback to Nightmare on Elm Street, where he had Fred himself play Fred the janitor with the red and green jumper.
Yeah.
But they also paid tribute to John Carpenter in the first one, because when they're all in the house at the party,
they're
watching Halloween.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. It's very good.
Yeah. Like that's arguably your biggest rival in horror, and you're gonna throw him into one of your films, and you're like, yeah.
That's called got moxie. That's what
that
is. He's got
a little bit of balls on you. 6, 9 films, 370.5 million.
That's Friday the 13th.
That is incorrect.
Right. That is. God, I don't know. What is it?
You were so set on it.
I was.
It's the Nightmare on Elm Street collection.
Was there 9 films in that?
There's 8, and then there's that other one. That other one.
Oh god.
Do you know what? I can normally call someone's remakes. That's just the other one. That's the black sheep. I'd prefer 2.
Oh my god.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2 than watch that remake.
I have never watched the remake for the simple fact I know it would annoy me. You know that way?
Do you know something? For the cast they got, right? So he just came off doing The Watchmen, Jackie L. Haley and whatnot. It was kind of big. They had Rooney Mara. They had do you remember the cop from Shawshank Redemption?
Clancy.
Yeah.
The big lad. Clancy Brown or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Clancy Brown. Yeah, they had him in it. There was a few others in it as well. Do you know what I mean? It was a big enough cast, and it was like for the first 40 minutes, it was very, very good, and then it was like they realized that they were going off in a different direction, and just muddled everything into it. And was like, there you go. I was like, thanks. Still, I still went to see it twice in the cinema.
That's because you're a sucker for Freddy.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I don't have this on my arm for no reason.
Love it.
But let's be fair, it's not the Jackie Earl Haley one.
No, it's not. No way. The main man himself, Robert Englund.
Yeah.
And 1 and 3, I like. I like 1 and 3. I like the other ones, but 3 for me is class.
For me, it goes 1, 3, 4, A New Nightmare. I think it's called Freddy's Dead.
Yeah.
There's 5, and then they had the one with the baby, and then there was 2, and then 2010 one. Yeah. Like 3 is arguably the best of the collection.
Yeah.
It's definitely the strongest story and whatnot, and arguably the most creative kills.
Yeah.
Now, one has the most influential or the most memorable kill.
Yeah.
When poor Johnny Depp gets put into the blender.
Jesus, yeah.
In the bed. But it is what it is. Good collection. It's at 9.
It's an enjoyable franchise apart from that.
It's a very weak franchise though, really. Out of 9 films, you're talking about having 2, maybe 3 good ones.
Yeah, but they're the kind of ones that if they're on, you'll watch them, like, you know.
Yeah. Well, then again, like the one that my favorite film collection is Wrong Turn, and I'll say it over and over. It's not a very good series, but I enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's all personal preference. I know people that love Nightmare on Elm Street too. I'm like, do you watch movies?
There's something wrong with them people.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they thought was going to happen with that movie.
I know.
But that's for a different day.
Exactly.
5 is 12 films, 380.6 million.
12 films? What's that then?
This here is your highest kill rate.
That's Friday the 13th, isn't it?
Yeah. There's not much in it. Considering they've made 3 movies more, it's only 10 million more in the box office or whatever.
I would say that came from later films. That I would say that.
Yeah.
You know.
Jason X made big money.
I don't know why.
Was the strange one. Now I don't know whether that 9 and 12 count Freddy versus Jason.
I think the class that as a. You could probably class that as part of one for each, yeah. Probably good, actually.
Because it just tells you how many films it is. It doesn't give you the names of them on the list, so.
Yeah.
We'll say that's in there. That made big money.
Yeah. I like, this would be the character now that I would like the idea of and the look of more than the films. Whereas I like the whole idea and the concept in the films of Michael Myers. You know?
Yeah, this is what I was saying. This is your typical slow moving, big, powerful slasher.
Yeah.
Goes along nicely up here. You have one as well, don't you?
He's there.
Yeah. He kind of has to go on to it, really, doesn't he?
And that's it. I really should get Freddy on this. I know I should. Like, there's Michael, you know.
Yeah, well, like Freddy was supposed to be my first one, but it just happened to go the other way. At the time, one of the lads that did it was like, "I'll just do Jason there," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" We're all going on at some stage anyway.
Yeah, he'd be one of the most iconic horror characters for the hockey mask alone.
Yeah, well, there's your you talk about horror. You get the same probably 4 names that pop up.
Yeah,
you're gonna get. We've had them all now, so you're gonna get Michael. You get Jason. You get Leatherface. You'll get Freddy, and for proper horror fans, you'll probably get Pinhead.
That's right. Yeah.
Like there was an idea pitched around there not so long ago by Clive Barker and John Carpenter before he died. Yeah, he did die. Oh no, sorry, John Carpenter. John Carpenter's still alive. Wes Craven.
Wes Craven.
For Halloween and Hellraiser crossover.
Halloween.
And apparently they were gonna call it Halloween.
Like the band.
Is there a band? Is there? Yeah, apparently one of the lads that runs another page, First Class Horror, had it up. He found something on it, and it was, apparently they had talks, and it was set to go at one stage. Yeah. So like the crossover movies did work.
Yeah,
they just had to have a stronger script.
Yeah, I thought Freddy vs. Jason was alright. You know, it was a bit of fun.
For horror fans, it was great finally seeing it. But if you watch that as a non-horror fan, you're thinking, what the fuck is this?
I love when you see Jason coming out of the water and that, and he has Freddy's head.
Yeah,
you know,
just like it set up the second one.
Yeah.
That never happened.
Yeah, pity.
Thank God.
No, pity.
Oh, thank God. Right. This one actually pains me to be on the list.
Oh.
It's 6 films. It's made 401 million.
Jesus. 4 films.
6.
6 films.
Yeah. The first one was the biggest of them. And had a cast of 4 people.
Oh, the Blair Witch Project.
Nope. It was more than that in the Blair Witch Project.
So just the 3 of them.
Nope, because they stop and talk to you one, they stop and talk in the diner, they have the college at the start. This one has a cast of 4 people.
Okay, what is it?
Paranormal Activity.
I've never seen any of those films.
The first one I went to see in the cinema and I enjoyed it. And then I came out of the cinema and I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? No, I found myself when I went home, like I was in college at the time, and I found every little noise. I was kind of like, that's what it kind of done. It brought up the noises of your house more so than anything. Yeah. But after that, it just went off a nosedive, off a cliff.
Again, I can't comment on them because I've never seen them. So
that's made it to number 4.
Wow. And that's again prime timing, yeah. So people are going to go and see that in their droves, you know.
Yeah. Right, we go to number 3 because Paranormal Activity is terrible. This has made 5 films.
Right.
408 million.
That's a proper heavy year.
Right. And I'd say about 80% of the total came off the first movie. It's also been covered on this show.
I think I'd know my own show, wouldn't you?
It'll be my show if you don't catch up.
What is it? Go on, tell me.
Jaws.
Yeah, of course. It's been covered.
Me personally, I wouldn't count this as a horror movie.
Not myself. A straight up horror, but there's horror elements. Yeah. Enough horror elements for me to have it on.
It was actually covered on this show and covered on
Retrotainment
in week 3 or 4 by Ted Neen.
Yeah.
That was before my time.
Yeah. No, again, I love the first one.
That's all that needs to be said.
Yeah, and that's it.
One is as near a perfect a movie as you'll get.
It's still the rewatchability of that film is eternal. It really is.
I've watched it 3 times the last 6 months. Just when I've nothing to do or nothing to watch, I'm flicking through Netflix to see Jaws. Put it on in the background, and then I see myself sitting there an hour and a half later going, "Here she comes."
Yeah, I love it. I don't care.
Come on, Bruce.
I love how Bruce looks in it. I don't care. I love it.
Yeah, like that. I think now that's the only thing that'll kind of mark it down a little bit.
Yeah, but I still think for the time, it was brilliant.
But I'm just glad that Bruce did not work properly.
Yeah.
That's the only thing you can say about that movie now. Like, imagine what it would have been if that had worked properly.
Yeah, jeez. I know. But rightly, it's deservedly so. Even on the strength of that one film, deservedly so up there.
Well, that is the franchise, and I'm glad that Spielberg has the rights to it.
Yes.
And he will not budge on letting them. He let them butcher it for long enough.
Yeah.
but yeah, he's not budging because as far as I knew, Prime, as far as I read, Prime and I think it's Sony Pictures are trying to reboot Jaws,
Yes.
and he's just not giving it. He's like, not a hope.
Good.
But like then they brought out that new one that they said was better than Jaws, Great White. Boy, Jesus, I had the unfortunate pleasure of watching that for an hour and a half. Fuck me.
After the Meg, I don't watch films like that now.
I go through stages where I do like watching creature features. Like I watched Primeval last night.
Oh, was that any good?
No. It's about, Gustav the crocodile.
Yeah.
That really big man-eating crocodile that they
Yeah.
caught. They made a movie about that. But they brought in like a warlord and everything into it. I was like, what the fuck is this? But no, creature features aren't done like Jaws anymore.
No.
And like for me, for a certain point, Anaconda was done perfectly.
Yeah.
And then you see the snake and you're like, Jesus Christ. But I think they show too much of the snake in it.
Yeah, and that can be, I mean, that's probably just excitement on their part, wanting to show off what they've made.
Yeah, no, I know when they kill Mateo off in Anaconda, they have to show him thing. I know getting eaten by a shark, you don't see much, you just can be pulled under. Like when you're being crushed to death by a 40-foot snake, you kind of have to see something.
Yeah, you have to.
But all they needed to do was maybe show the body.
Yeah.
Like wrapped around a tree or with him in it or whatever. But like you see poor old breaking Owen Wilson's neck and everything, and you're like, what the fuck is that? They kind of got there and was like, oh shit, what do we do now?
Yeah.
Fuck it, do this.
What would an anaconda do? Oh, we should have checked that out.
Yeah. They're not a predatorial killer for this long and get that size for no fucking reason. Like, they don't kill everything around them and have arguably no hunters for no reason. It's the same as a great white, but that was the subtle touch in Jaws that I loved. The name of the boat is the orca.
Yes.
And like a lot of people wouldn't realize, the orca is the only thing that'll hunt a great white.
Yes.
Like subtle little touches like that.
Yeah.
Were so good.
And as I said, rightly so, it's number 3.
Yeah. Well, I was surprised. I thought it might have been a bit higher. Well, number 2 is 7 films. Is actually now 8 films.
Remake or reboot?
No, just a new part.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's counted in this franchise, if that makes sense. The way IMDb have done it.
Okay.
It's made 415 million.
Wow.
And it's made one character. You'll only be forever known as this character now.
Oh God, what is it?
Tobin Bell will always be remembered.
Saw.
Yeah.
Saw. Some of those films were brilliant, I have to say. They were brilliant.
I like them all. To be honest, there's not a bad one.
No.
There's some crazy ones.
Yeah, that's probably better.
They're not a bad one. They're all fairly strong stories to them.
And the traps are all pretty smart, pretty clever.
Some of them are bad, aren't they?
Yeah.
The one I only watched. It pops up on some of the horror pages. You'll see like the best Saw traps. The merry-go-round one with the shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's 6 of them, and he has to put his hand in and break the bones in his hand. And you're like, Jesus, no, I just let all 6 of them be shot. Sorry, pal.
Yeah.
Whatever 4 of you die. I'm sorry.
Or the one where your woman falls onto the needles. The syringes.
Oh, that's in the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know they didn't tell her that they were doing that, and she has a genuine fear of needles.
I'd say they knew that, and that's probably why they did that.
So they uncovered it. They told her it was a pit of rats, apparently.
Oh.
And when they uncovered it, but the problem was there's 100,000 fake needles in that. And someone dropped a box of real needles into it at one stage.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, they had to go through every one of them.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, production stopped for 4 days. Imagine
Oh,
dropping the box anywhere but there.
what would they do with real needles there?
I have no idea. No
But
idea. But yeah, that was one of those things I like reading on the old horror pages, like things like
yeah,
that come up about movies. But yeah, apparently you want to play the man that has a terrible, terrible fear of needles.
wow,
That's why they had her play a junkie in the movie
yeah,
to try and help her over it and whatnot.
very good.
But yeah, Saw was brilliant. As I was saying, I don't know whether they count Chris Rock's new one.
Well, I suppose
Spiral.
it's part of the story, isn't it? Really?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it, but I would assume. I think it says from the Saw series or something like that. So
The Book of Saw, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm not
the
sure
Book of
whether
Saw.
whether it's a reboot of the first one or it's another part. I'm not entirely sure.
no,
But overall, very good series.
yeah, I like it.
Probably the strongest in terms of full horror series.
Yeah, consistent.
Yeah, like overall, movie for movie, there's like, all right, one was brilliant, and then they kind of just stay at a general level.
Yeah. They're
After
not
that.
muck. They're not muck. Put it that way.
Like you don't go from Nightmare on Elm Street being up here to number 2 being somewhere down here,
No.
and then going back up and down. Like I know all movies have it, but they Saw kind of kept true to itself.
Yeah,
James Wan is a brilliant director as well.
he is. Yeah.
Right, number 1. 7 films,
Okay.
515 million, basically 516 million.
Jesus. Give us a clue. Go on.
Arguably the strongest female character you'll ever see in your life.
Oh God.
I think if you think about that in film franchise, there's probably only 2 you can think of, and one of them is not Laura Croft.
Well, I would have said Sarah Connor.
Well, it's between her and the other one.
Oh, I don't know.
Alien.
Oh, that makes fucking perfect sense now.
Ellen Ripley.
And that's how many films are they including the Predator ones in that? AVP.
I wouldn't think so, because you've got obviously Aliens, Alien 3,
Alien 4,
Prometheus, Alien 4, and then there was another one from Prometheus. Wasn't there? There was 2 parts of that.
Yeah, I think there was.
They mustn't be. There's 7 on this, so
Right,
you'd say
so that's
9.
your 7, yeah.
Yeah. 515.9 million. Alien 1 and 2, and then the rest go in the bin.
Yeah. The first 2, the concept is just spectacular. You know, and
This was another movie that I got too late. Like growing up, I used to love Predator. Predator used to be on Sky One,
yeah,
and things like that. I used to watch it all the time, and then it wasn't up until probably about 2004 when Alien vs Predator was coming out. I was like, I better actually watch these before I go and see that.
yeah.
I sat down and watched them, and I watched 1, and I was like, that's it. I'm watching 2 now. And I watched 2, and then I watched 3, 4, 27, and was just like, okay. I was like, this goes off a cliff somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have no idea what's going on now, but you just love seeing the alien fucking people up. The alien eventually just becomes another slasher.
Yeah, essentially. I love when they had the alien human hybrid. Remember that thing? The big kind of tall white thing.
No.
That Ripley. Did Ripley not? Did it not come out with Ripley? Because I know that there was a Pred alien in Alien versus Predator, but this thing was like a hybrid of a human and an alien.
No.
I'll have to look it up and show you. I'll have to show it.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch I actually have. Do you remember the box set that came out when AVP 2 came out?
Yeah.
It has the 2 Predators. It has all the aliens, and then it has AVP 1 and 2, and I have that.
Nice.
I'm gonna go back and watch them.
Yeah.
Surely because Predator 1, Alien 1 and 2 are class.
Yeah. Even Predator 2 is great.
Predator 2 is funny where he meets the drug dealer on the street. But
Really?
no, yeah, Alien 1 and 2, Alien film franchise in terms of horror is the highest grossing.
Wow.
Now,
And you can understand that again on the strength of the first two.
yeah, well, the other Prometheus got a big lineup, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it got a lot of hype about it.
Yeah.
I think when people seen it first, they were like, "Nah, this is shit." And
They
I don't
were
blame them.
They
It
were
was
right.
absolute poison.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of it.
But to me, like not having it in there being the highest grossing horror film, but maybe because one was a made for movie TV, they
I'd
can't
say
count
so.
it as a franchise.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's surprising that there's no real werewolf movie made it in.
I'm not, because there's no franchises per se, except maybe the Underworld where they came into it.
Yeah,
Like
that was the
there's
crossover.
no, you know yourself, there's a lot of, there's not enough love in Hollywood for werewolf films.
No, it's
Vampires.
all done. Yeah, it's because you can make a love story out of a vampire.
Yes, not a werewolf. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, you probably could, but you might get in trouble for bestiality or something. But
Ew. Greg, you're a dirty fucker.
well, the Wolfman probably could have made it as a franchise.
Could have, yeah, but I
then again,
liked that. I enjoyed it.
Which one? The Benicio del Toro one?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Anthony Hopkins was brilliant in that,
Yeah.
as usual. You know it's bad when you say an actor was brilliant in something and then you just follow it with as usual.
Yeah, no, that's how you know a really good actor.
Silence of the Lambs didn't make it, which was a strange one.
I'm surprised at that now, actually. Yeah, I would have thought, because
obviously it wasn't as big in the cinema.
No, but sure. Look, I mean, the first one won how many Oscars? You know, you would.
The first one was only, I think, the third movie or the second movie to win the Big Five.
Wow.
Like that tells you everything you need to know about that movie.
Yeah.
And Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor in it, and he was only on the screen for
10 minutes, was it? 16 minutes?
Well, 16 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there are other movies that I thought should be on that franchise list, just obviously didn't do well.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Well, that's the franchises for you.
Yeah.
Well,
it's an impromptu show, but sure.
Yeah, and I have to say thanks for digging us out of a hole and putting us on the slab again.
Gotta help a brother out sometimes.
Absolutely. It's been cool talking about those films, actually. It's nice remembering some
of
the old ones.
Out of those 26, how many do you reckon you've seen at least one movie of?
Oh, maybe 20 of them.
I've seen a movie out of them all. At least one.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it going, I've seen all that series. All that series.
No, and you hear most of me, I'm like, I've seen the first one.
Yeah. That's usually all you need to see in a film series.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know about it. Like
I think we'll have to do another one of these soon. And we'll have to get Ian involved on it.
Yeah. We'll try and figure out maybe do our own franchise list or our own series list or something.
Yeah, we'll do something.
But we can talk about that off screen.
Exactly. So we're gonna leave the slab now. Greg, G-Man, it's been awesome as always having you on the show. And
I'll be back eventually.
You will be back. And for now, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we are out of here. Thank you.